So, truth be told, I didn't think I was going to be doing a video blog right now, but because I'm dying and I'm sick, but there was a message thread that just kind of went insane, and I kind of woke up to it after posting what I wanted to say, and then all of a sudden it just kind of blew up, and I wanted to respond something, and I started to type it, and it was, it just kind of got longer and longer and longer in my head. And I was just like, I just need to do a video blog about this because I won't have enough finger strength to type all of this. And it feels like something that a lot of you should probably know if you don't know already about me. And so I'm going to split this up into two different kinds of sections because if you cross over the sections, it'll start to sound really bad. So you have to kind of look at them as two different things. There's Elliot the person. There's Elliot the person that, you know, like, okay. There's Elliot the person, and then there's Elliot the line dancer. There's Elliot the YouTube guy, the line dancer, the choreographer of Loving Me Is Red. There's that guy. And then there's Elliot the person. Elliot the person started line dance because he broke up with a girl. And he had no social interaction whatsoever with anybody. Social skills were terrible, awful. Literally, up until about a week ago, they were still bad. They've always been bad. My social interacting with people has just always been really, really awkward. And I can start a sentence and I can finish a sentence, but I can't do a conversation. You know, it was kind of like that. I'm also sick. I'm also on an energy drink. So, yeah, I just really didn't think I'd be doing a video blog right now. So, I got into line dance as a way to meet girls. It's hashtag the things you do for girls. It was never to become a choreographer. It was never to, you know, like, learn every dance, go beyond learning every dance. I haven't even stated. Okay, so this all started because Kalea wrote a status about how she's getting over the country bar life, like dancing at country bars, or at least in SoCal, because in SoCal, most of our country bars, we do very standard stuff. Between the hours of 9 and close, we do very standard things. Even in the like advanced kind of hour of like 6 to 9, we don't do anything overly advanced. We're not doing things like cliche love song, or 8 Misbehavin', or Rachel McEnany's Strip It Down dance, or My ADD, these are all dances that you should definitely look up if you don't already know what they are. But we're not doing any those kinds of dances. We're just doing like a more advanced version of 4 on the Floor. Like a harder version of After Party, you know? And those are the kinds of dances that we do in our advanced time at clubs in SoCal. And she's kind of getting over that. And it's because there is a greater line dance world that is much bigger than clubs, than country bar clubs. Because country bar clubs, you have to be able to follow things. You have to be able to, it has to appeal to a massive quantity of people. And so there are easier dances, and there's no real room to do anything more advanced than what's already out. I decided to write that there was a point in my life that I was gonna get out of line dancing, that I also wanted to stop line dancing, because I felt the same way. That I knew all the dances, and, you know, like I got to a point where everything was just easy and everything was like I already knew everything. There was a point where I wanted to stop my YouTube channel, and so then and I wanted to stop doing tutorials and whatnot. Okay, now I'll go back to like what I was talking about before. Elliot the person started line dance as a way to meet girls. It's always been like that. It always has been, and it still is to this day. When I started dancing it in cahoots, I started realizing that even when I started knowing dances, that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to just know a hard dance. You had to dance that well. In order for you to obtain attention from people, you had to do something. You had to add some kind of flair. I realized that I was a hip-hop person because I always have been since before line dancing, and so I started adding that. But I was always trying. I was always trying to be better, to get that one girl's attention, to get that one girl to notice me. I was learning how to two-step so that I could ask that one girl to dance, so that I could socially interact with her. None of this, or almost none of this, had to do with me wanting to learn things because I wanted to learn things. I wanted to learn things as a middle point to wanting to know a girl. I told my friend this a long time ago, that line dancing and country barring in general, it's kind of like snorkeling. It's one of those things that you want to do once. You want to do you want to do at some point in your life because it would be fun. It would be fun to do-si-do and wear some boots and wear a hat and and go to a country bar and listen to music and dance in a line. But it's not necessarily something you want to do for the rest of your life. You don't want to do it all the time. And I obviously, a lot of the people who do it all the time, who have now made it a part of their life, they are my friends, and I'm probably going to tag them in this post. But just as a normal person, as a normal country bar person, or just a person that's casual about this, you don't necessarily want to do it for the rest of your life. There are other things you want to be doing. That country barring and saying that you're amazing at a line dance or whatever, it only gets you so far socially. You can have a conversation with somebody, and you could be an amazing person, an amazing dancer. You could start a conversation with a girl and be like, oh, hey, my name is Elliot. Oh, hey, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I line dance a whole lot, and I have a line dance out in clubs. It's called Loving Me Is Red. It's like this crazy 64 count dance that took me a little while to, go into clubs. And I also teach a class in Diamond Bar, and they're like, okay, cool. I work it in and out. And then they start going off on their story, and all of a sudden everything that you have worked so hard for is just gone. Because if that's all you have the ability to say that you've done in your life, then I can't. I want to do other things. Pause. That's Elliot the person. Elliot the line dancer and Elliot the YouTube guy. I like teaching. I really love teaching people. I love teaching everybody. I like that moment when you teach somebody after party or aw-nah, and they're like, oh my god, I can do it, that's so great, I haven't been able to do this for so long, and I've been trying to work on this for so long, and now I know it because of you. I love that reaction, and I get it all the time, and I get that, and I get people that have appreciated everything that I've done to help them. When you start going into the line dance, okay, so it was presented to me that because I love teaching and because I love dancing, and obviously because it's a big part of my life now, and because I am so heavily invested in it, that I should go on to doing higher end things like Kalea and all the people that are in the greater line dance world, the bigger line dance world, the one that has all of the insane phrased tag restarts, the whole works, that kind of world. And this is my problem, just as where I am in my life, and as who I am as a person. My problem is that I feel a lot of people in that world, it's all about the next thing. When you dance at a country bar, you have the ability to teach people something, and then they're just happy. They're just happy that they know something. They're happy that they know a dance that they can do forever, that they can go to other line dance clubs and be a badass. And they're just happy in the fact that they know After Party, or that they know The Walk, or that they know Outlaw. I feel like people in the greater line dance world, once they learn something difficult, they're just looking for the next difficult thing to learn. And the next difficult thing to learn. And what's the newest thing? And what's the next thing? And I have a side magic career, which I won't even really get into. But the one thing that I want to note is something that David Blaine said in an interview. And he was saying how magic has become this bigger and bigger thing. First, it was like making a motorcycle disappear on stage. Then it was making the Statue of Liberty disappear. Then it was, making a car disappear. Then it was making the Statue of Liberty disappear. Then it was making the Golden Gate Bridge disappear. And it's like all these magicians that are trying to outdo themselves over and over and over, and like, what's next? And so his thing was that he was just like, what's next? Like, do you want to make the world disappear? And so he decided to make his magic more individual. And that's how he came up with doing street magic for just the casual, everyday person. And making people happy in a smaller scale than pay me $1,000 and I'll do a stage show. That's what I like about where I am as a line dancer right now. I'm affecting clubs around where I am. I'm teaching people that actually go to clubs. I'm helping my friends that go to clubs get their line dances out. That's when you know this video blog has gone on for way too long, when I get just interrupted like all the time. Okay, so I am not slamming, like how I got to where I am as a line dancer. I'm not saying it's for nothing, because I am so appreciative of everybody that has helped me get to where I am right now. And I'm also not saying I'm not a dancer. I'm not gonna like sit here and say that I'm not a dancer. But I'm just saying that if I were to make that step to go from just a normal club country bar person to wanting to do everything outside of all of this, and I go to events where they teach like 30 dances that are just all ridiculous, or going to classes where all they do are just like 64 count, 128 count, 50 restarts and tags and phrase dancing. And if I were to make that step, I'm not saying that I couldn't. I'm not saying that my dance ability, I don't believe in my dance ability. I'm sure I could. I'm sure if I tried hard enough, I could play, a concert piano, because it's all about studying. And like line dancing, that I tell everybody, it's all about consistency. I'm sure if I did it consistently, I could do it. It's just not necessarily something I want to do. I actually really like the position that I'm at right now. Maybe it'll change, but right now, the way that I'm affecting people, the way that I'm changing people's lives at clubs, just the normal, casual, everyday person. Like, I might not be like this household, Guyton Mundy, Trevor Thornton, Rachel McEnany, Brenda Chateau name. But I feel like all my friends that I see all the time at clubs know me. And that's all I really care about. I'm just trying to build a life, a social life that I never had. I just don't. I don't want to get to that stage. and that stage of being like so high up there, like working so hard to get millions of my own line dances to be on Copper Knob's top 10, to where I'm completely sucked into that life. I want to do other things. I also want to do other things that are, and I know that's weird to say on a line dance channel, but I mean, don't you? Don't you want to do other things in your life? If you're not already, like I'm not actually doing anything else in my life. I go to work and I go to line dance. Like that's all I actually do. I want to do other things. And I feel like if I go into that step, if I take that next step, if I go from being a peewee, like football player, and I'm like, hey, I want to play in the Super Bowl, what does that take? And if I make that step, that becomes my life. That becomes everything. And I don't necessarily want this to be everything. I want to travel and I want to get a girlfriend. And I want to finger paint. And I want to scrapbook and I want to skydive and I want to jump off a cliff into water and I want to snorkel once, because you should just do it once. Line dancing is amazing, and dancing in general is amazing. And like other people that have previously stated in this post, you should dance because it makes you feel something. And when I get to teach, and when I get to affect lives of people that I see all the time, that's what I love. And I feel like if I went to the other side, to be able to stay relevant, which is one of my biggest like personality traits / terrible things about me. It's the idea that I want to stay relevant. To stay relevant and to be a person that everybody always constantly talks about and knows, to be that Rachel McEnany, to be that Trevor Thornton, and to be that Guyton Mundy, that's tough. That's rough. It's really rough. I highly respect all of those people that have the ability to be there, to make dances all the time, and to teach all the time, and to travel and whatnot. It's crazy what they do. But I don't necessarily want this to be everything. And that's why I don't necessarily want to take that step. But like everybody said in this post, if you want to be challenged, and if you want to do more than just country bar stuff, then that's definitely the next stage. But like literally the next stage, if I'm, in my own, like what then do I want to peak at? Being a Kathy Verkamp, being a Cindy Massengale, being a Carrie Kick, being an Anne-Marie Dunn, and teaching at my own bar, teaching at a bar that I can go to all the time. That would be like my peak dream as who I am. This has gone on for 20 minutes, so this is going to take forever to upload. That's it.